Greetings. This is Skyler Saunders saying, what's current? Now, I'm just going to probably be all over the place like Bird-ass because I just have so many ideas jumping into my head. But the main thing I wanted to say was I did predict what would happen. I have one witness, my sister. She's one witness that says that I can do it. And I'm not just an armchair Monday morning quarterback or coach or something like that. I knew this was going to happen. I didn't know in this fashion, but I knew it was going to happen similar to what I said. Because this was weeks ago when the Commanders were stomped on by the Eagles. The Eagles rendered them, so many, points lost. The spread is what counts in betting. So that's what is said. So what was it, like 55 to something? I can't remember what it was. It was something crazy. It was 55 to something else. But the Eagles dominated. They dominated a few games this season. The Chiefs never dominated. They won. They kept winning. They got to the Super Bowl, but they didn't dominate. They never dominated. They never had blowout games. Never once. Not this entire season. They may have won maybe by 10 or 11 points or somewhere along those lines. But let me be 100% sure. Let me see. D9. Eagles. Let me see. And their games. Let me see. Okay, so here are the Eagles. They let me see. Their last game was against the Commanders. It was 55-23. 55-23. That's 37 points. Thank you. That's 37 points. That's crazy. 22-10. That's double digits. 28-10. 27-13. 37-20 against the Rams. They decimated the Cowboys 34-6. They got stomped on by the Vikings 26-3. But that's just examples. That's just examples. The Cowboys actually beat them. But let me see what the Chiefs did. Chiefs record. Hey, Parsa. You're giving money this time, right? You're subscribing, right? How are you? That's a question, so you have to put up $10 if you want to know how I am. So the Kansas City Chiefs, these are their scores. 27-19, 29-10, okay, 21-7. They had some, but they had mostly close games. 30-27, 14-6, 17-19. They had one. That's the Broncos. Broncos beat them. They shut them out. 38-0. Damn. So, but this is a close game. 32-29. I said the Eagles. They're like this. If they were ever down, they were never down. But if they ever were, they would have came back by the end of the fourth quarter. That's how they roll. They're the opposite of the Philadelphia 76ers as a team. The Sixers will be up by 20 points for the first half and then lose the whole lead by the second half. They lose steam. What are you doing? You great man. I like you. Okay, great. That's wonderful. But have you put up a money amount? Have you subscribed? Have you have you asked other people to subscribe? Have you suggested that to other people to subscribe? That's what counts. You can say all you want about me, but just make sure you say I'm a businessman about my dollar. And this isn't play time. This is fun for me. I have a good time. I like it, but I'm here for the money. I'm here for the dollars. I gotta get money. I have to get this money. So whoever's in the live chat, 3 and 1, three people and 1 like. I'm not mad at that at all. Hey men, you don't know victory steal my hand. I have no idea what the hell you're talking about. I'm talking about the Super Bowl right now. So you know, it wasn't an absolute surprise because I thought it was going to be like what they did to the Commanders, giving up 55 points. I thought that was going to be the issue. I thought that was going to happen when they started scoring. I was like, oh boy, they're going to start scoring on them. It's going to be a problem. And it did. It turned out to be a huge problem for Mahomes and company. So I don't know men. Okay, that's different, Parson. But they have a way of saying, you know, how people are very disgruntled about play calling and stuff like that, saying that they go. I think the Eagles definitely put down the hammer with integrity. I don't think they cheated. I don't think they did anything goofy. I don't think they did anything wrong. They got the W, and let's move on. Okay. Let's talk about that halftime show. What is up with that halftime show? All right? Come on, all right does not. It was used for protest, but it's not a protest song. It has elements saying, you know, we hate Popo, want to get hit in the street for a show. We gonna be all right. Like that's what the Chiefs fans are singing right now. We gonna be all right. Like they're looking at their wounds. They're trying to, you know, they're searching for the answers now. They're suspect and searching for the answers. They're trying to figure out what happened. Where did they all go wrong? That's what all, you know, the team, Andy Reid and everybody, Kelsey, they're all trying to figure out what happened. What that just really take place? People are looking at this like it's the election. That's how Americans look at things, you know. It's winners and losers, and you know you roll with the winners. I'm not rolling with the Eagles. I can't do it. I just don't have that much stamina to roll with the Eagles. But I am definitely saying that they won with integrity and honesty and with agility and ability. It's great. That's wonderful. But this halftime show, like I said, halftime show, man. Kendrick is no KRS-One, Busta Rhymes, Common. Who else gets the crowd just rocking and they're still alive? I can't. You know, somebody that passed away, DMX, he could control the crowd. He could get everybody excited and, you know, lively and everything. Kendrick Lamar seemed like he was like crushed around his microphone and like he's got the bell bottoms and the probably $80,000 worth of jewelry around his neck or $100,000 worth of jewelry. I don't know how much, but he had the lowercase a pendant, or they call it a chain, or you know that's a synecdoche. When you call something a part of itself, part of the whole, or a whole of the part of the part. That's synecdoche. So when you say chain, that's, you know, a Rockefeller chain, or that's a Terror Squad chain. You know, that's a Death Row chain. But it's really the pendant, but it's part of the whole, which is the chain and the pendant together. So just wanted to point that out. But he seemed boring to me. Everybody else is great. The dancers were on point. They're on point, but he seemed boring. I could call it trash. I might call it trash, just based on the fact that he was the first hip hop solo act. He had SZA as a feature, but he was the main event. He was the main entertainer of that specific performance. So I think it's like it's sad because I mean, like the men I just said are past their prime. They're in their 40s and 50s, maybe 60s. KRS-One, I don't know. KRS-One, he's 59, and Common I think is in his 40s. He's 52. Excuse me. And Busta Rhymes, what is he? He's 52 too. So they're in their 50s. They'll be on the stage, yo, whew, yeah. They'll be saying all kinds of, they'll be going all over the place. Go back to Jesus. Welcome, Texas. Welcome to the madness. Come on in. What do you have to say about the Super Bowl? What do you got to say about the Super Bowl, Texas? I can't type it into the screen because it's on mobile. I'm surprised I'm not getting as many people supporting. I got 3 people in here. Drake got his lawyer suing everybody today. I didn't even see that. After the Super Bowl, is that what you're saying? Okay, get out of here, Parson. Hey man, okay. Yeah, so but those are the big 3 that come into mind for me. KRS-One, Busta Rhymes, and Common, but they're all in their 50s, so it would look like a definite funeral. People have already declared that Kendrick Lamar's was a funeral. It was the last nail in Drake's coffin. Yeah, Kendrick had the president of the United States calling him a PDF file. Wait, where is he? Where did you see that? What are you talking about? Calling him a PDF file. Why was he calling him a PDF file? And not Drake. Is he calling Drake a PDF file or Kendrick? I'm confused. Texas, you gotta clarify for me. Clarify just a little bit. Make me understand clearly. Not sure what you mean. Yeah, Kendrick had the president of the United States calling him calling Drake a pedophile? Is that what you're saying? But overall, I expected more. I expected All Right. That would have said, because he gets hype off of All Right. That song is a definite banger. That song bangs. I love that song. That's my favorite Kendrick Lamar song. My favorite Kendrick Lamar song. My gun might go, but we gonna be all right. Can you hear me? Do you feel me? We gonna be all right. We gonna be all right. Like, that's the truth. I love that song. This is a part of, let me see. Yes, Trump called Drake PDF file because he was at the Super Bowl singing the song. Huh. I missed that. Send me a link. You have a wrench. Send me a link. I'll look that up. But overall, the halftime show was like a B. No, it was more like a C minus. It was like a D plus for me. He had no energy. He had nothing. I couldn't understand why he didn't have that much energy. He was just like, He's in the mic. He's like this. He had the bell bottoms on with the chains around his neck and everything. He had, he had the what was that, like a race jacket, like a motorcycle jacket. It wasn't like he looked crazy. He just didn't have any energy. He didn't seem like he had any oomph to him. He didn't have any kind of understanding of what he was and what he was about. He seemed very stiff, kind of thing. Like just he didn't want to make any motions or anything like that. But everybody else was on point. The dancers, SZA, everybody, the crew that made up the PlayStation. Did anybody catch that? I didn't hear anybody say that too much. I saw a few times on Twitter saying that he suggested the PlayStation, which was weird because he works for UMG and PlayStation is Sony. So I don't know. Maybe that's a cross branding. I don't know. I think it's up to anyone to say how. Yeah, Serena Williams doing the crip walk at age 43. She's 43. I thought she was a little bit older for some reason, but you have to start when you're very young, so she's 43 years old. 43 years young. She was crip walking, that's right. She's from Cali. She's from South Central, not South Central, but she's from Southern California. Serena dated Drake. Oh, yes, I know that, Texas. I know. That's the reason why she was up there, most likely. She had Serena Drake crip walking on Drake's heart. I hate to use the heart metaphor. I use it as a metaphor only. I don't use it specifically in technically, because your mind is what it is. But it seems it's so ingrained in our culture. The heart. Oh, the heart. Oh, we gotta make the heart. It's hard to make the brain. What is the brain? This is like the brain. The heart is the shape of a woman butt. Yeah, I thought it was either the breasts or the butts of a female. That's what I always thought about it. But that's the only thing. It's a glorified and glorious pump. It's glorified because people say, "Oh, my heart, I broke my heart, and I can feel it in my heart when I." That's because your brain is sending signals to your heart, telling it messages saying that you should either quicken and you should slow down, or you should feel this way, feel that way. It's not your heart going to your brain; it's your brain going to your heart. Your brain is the CEO of your body. Just had to put that out there. All right, so. We have Serena Williams crip walking. We got American flag waving and then disbanding. I don't know what that was about. They ripping the American flag apart. I don't know what they're doing. I like the one point I like was what is that song? Hold up, sit down. What is that song? Hold up. Oh, be humble. That's what it is. Be humble. Yeah, thank you, humble. Yeah, I don't like the term humble or anything, but I like that song. That's a good song. And that was good. Everybody was on point. Everybody was on key. So I did appreciate that much. That was pretty cool. For a first, hip hop performance is probably going to revert back to pop next year. They're like, I think most people were like, could have been better, because it could have been better. I thought Kendrick Lamar was going to come out kicking down doors and throwing people across the room, and I thought it was going to be like a wrestling match kind of thing or something like that. A Drake lookalike or something like that, getting body slammed or something crazy, Mix the two sports, the world wrestling, what's it called? Worldwide wrestling and football. Serena crip walking was corny, LL. I think it was a good shot. I thought it was a good shot. It was a good shot across the bow of already damaged and destroyed ship. Cause she was like, she must have figured like, you know, let me get at this corny ass nigga, Drake, and show him, you know, he could have had all this, but he's missing out on it. She married to a billionaire, right? Alex Ohanian. Alex Ohanian. He's not a billionaire, but he's worth $150 million. Estimated, anyway. American internet entrepreneur and investor. She said, I gotta get a white man. That's the thing. I've always said that too. Either a black woman in power has either a white partner or husband, is single, or is divorced from a black man and has all his money. I can give you examples. Juanita Jordan. Hold on. Oprah Winfrey. Hold on. Hold on. Sheila Johnson. What's her name? Quinta Brunson, married to a white man. Trying to think of that's just what it is though. That's just they either have a Kamala Harris has a white man, or they're not married like Oprah. She's not married. Who's Gayle King married to? She was married to William Bumpus. I think that was a black man. I don't think she's with anybody now. So, that's the reality. Okay. Yeah, that's why I said Kamala Harris, yeah. I was watching shorts and slid onto this. I didn't even get a notification. I love that. Thank you, Gumbinos. You were on here before, though, weren't you? Pause, Tom Shaw says. But make sure you tell other people to subscribe. Go down there, see where my finger's pointing. Tell other people to subscribe if you've already subscribed. Tell somebody else. Go into somebody's feed. Go into somebody's their X page, their Facebook page, whatever the case may be. Tell them to subscribe to this channel. I'd appreciate it very much. If you've already done it, please, pass it along. Not today. I didn't even know you were live. Usually I get a notification. That's weird. I don't understand that. That's weird. Are you saying you haven't today or you won't today? What are you saying? Not today. I didn't even know you were alive. You were live. Usually got a notification. Well, make sure you keep those notifications on. Make sure it's switched on your device or your devices. But it's spectacle. I love spectacle. I love to see, before the game, before the actual Super Bowl, they had, talk about the wildfires. They talked about, of course, the French Quarter terrorist attack is what it was. Where 10 people died, and they had a special. They had a really serious and very touching kind of special about the way these people were mowed down. There was this one specific story about Bex. Is it Bex? Beck? His brother was killed. He was a football player for trying to remember Beck. I think it's Jack Beck. They're saying Jack Beck. And Tiger Beck was his brother. They called him Tiger. They said they had his keys on him, and that was the only way they could tell him from what it was. His face and his body, it was so mangled. Allegedly, I'm not sure. That's what I got from it anyway. His mother and his father were on opposite sides, holding his hand until his heart stopped. I was like, God damn. This is a lot. But they have to tell the story. And it was a redemption story with his brother who caught a pass in the end zone, and he was named the MVP of that particular game. So I mean, it's just, we just make the best out of everything. It's terrible, it's horrible. Let's make the best out of it. Let's try to make it better. Let's like acknowledge the sad and scary and terrible parts, and then look forward to the happy and wonderful and life giving aspects of whatever the spectacle may be. And that's the Super Bowl. Every year it's gonna be like, it was like that for September 11th, 2001. And U2 performed. They had the Streets with No Names and all the names of the people that had passed up to that point, because they kept on finding other people that had died as a direct result of the September 11th, 2001 events. I'm gonna make every show about September 11th, 2001. I don't care. I hope that's in everybody's mindset, because I'm just waiting, because they're not talking about in the politicians. They're not talking about we're gonna make sure national security this never happens again. We're gonna make sure you are all safe. Everybody's good. Everybody's great. Allowed to perform their tasks. Allowed to pursue their lives, their careers, their love interests. All of that, because we're the government, and that's our sole goal. That's our sole responsibility, to protect individual rights. That's it. Like, I haven't heard that yet. I hear we're going to take over Panama and make Canada the 51st state and make Gulf of Mexico Gulf of America. Really? But we're not talking about the FBI and the CIA, doing everything they can possibly to protect us as American citizens. Why aren't we talking about that? So then we go and fast forward to the flag carrying of the colors, presenting the colors, and the Star Spangled Banner being sung by John Baptiste. He's a very talented young man, very talented. He's he used to be the band leader for Stephen Colbert. Don't know what he's doing now besides making a lot of money, making off his music especially. So he probably does a lot of performances and things of that nature. So 3 likes, 4 people in here. Not mad. Not mad at all. So I'm really feeling, I'm feeling the notion that Kendrick Lamar could have pulled off the specific performance. I like the fact that he had the GNX. He had the GNX on the stage. I thought that was cool. That's one of the coolest things I've seen before. So that's why I feel about it. I think it's very powerful. It's a mighty way of showing things. It's very powerful. Very, very powerful. What I think is also powerful about this entire spectacle, was the fact that they had military, they had police, and that's what I'm ambivalent about. I'm kind of torn. I'm torn about that. I don't know if sporting events. Who started that, by the way? When did that start? I didn't do the research. I might have to do the research one day. But who started that with the Star Spangled Banner being played? Why? Why is the Star Spangled Banner played before the football game? Is it just because we have so many people watching? There's over 100 million people watching at the same time, and they're like, "Oh, America's got the flag, this huge flag across the stage, and the jets flying over at the same time, and it's all this crazy cool stuff going on." But why? Why the Star Spangled Banner? I love the Star Spangled Banner. I love the idea of patriotism, not nationalism. But that's as far as it goes for me. I don't get that. I don't understand why they combined a ritual of patriotism with sporting events. Why do they have people at the beginning of football games, basketball games, hockey games, football matches on the pith in America, on the pitch? Why do they have that? I don't understand. What is the big draw? I don't get it. Somebody explain it to me like I'm a 5-year-old. Sit me down, explain it to me Barney style. Let me know. I think with Kendrick Lamar's performance, which was tinged with like a backhanded slap to America. I think in some ways it really was. He has an edge to him that says he goes against America, then he's for America, then he goes against it. So he's very like teeter-totter. He teeter-totters on that way. It's very weird. It's a very strange situation. So I think again, I would love to have seen. I mean, they're still KRS-One isn't as much active, but Common and Busta Rhymes, they're still doing shows. They're still doing things. I don't know if KRS-One maybe still be on shows, but they're the party exciters. They're the igniters. They're the ones that get the crowd going. People swaying. Hey, hey, hey. Everything. Oh, drop the mic. Pick it up again and keep rolling. Like, that's what we needed. We needed super energy. We didn't have that super energy from Kendrick Lamar. It was too subtle. Everything was subtle. The GNX was subtle. The A across the platinum A with the flooded diamonds across on his neck. The crip walking. People may not know what the hell crip walking is. And in certain generations or certain geographic areas, they're like, "What the hell is this?" What's going on here? I don't know what's going on here. What's this boy talking about? I remember, man, what did he say? Syrup sandwiches or something. I had syrup sandwiches just for breakfast. What are you talking about? But people that just come over here. I am from Nigeria, and I am just looking into this whole hip hop his whole hip hop different genre. Keep doing real premium black media news. Work daily with a very sophisticated analytical analysis. Thank you, Christopher Perkins. Tell somebody about this channel. Please tell 200 people about this channel. I'll be very happy. Tell 200 people about this channel. Tell them to subscribe. Speak on, Sky. I appreciate it. But yeah, so it's goofy to me. It's a really goofy situation. It's super goofy. I don't understand, all that Kendrick Lamar was trying to do. I mean, that's what everybody's doing. They're doing a breakdown. They're like, well, their analysis, like, oh, well, that meant this, and because he was wearing that jacket, that meant, and then the bell bottoms over the sneakers, and oh, I know what that means. That means that he was trying to show what? I don't know, but that's what people are doing. That's the fun of it, I guess. What I guess I'm doing too. I'm eating off of this, so I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying that's what people are doing. Just the takeaways is amazing. And they played Luther, which is my favorite song from GNX. Get those likes up, people. Yeah, you got to tell them to get the likes up, people, on your different platforms. Tell them on Twitter. Tell them on, X, excuse me. I was saying the social network formerly known as Twitter, X. Tell them on Facebook. Tell them on, Meta, all that. It's Blue Sky. I don't know. What the hell? Now I have 0 viewers. 0. That means in rebroadcast land, that's where I will eat. Yeah, Luther is the truth. I love that song. If this world were mine. So I think if we have songs like Luther played at the Super Bowl, that's pretty strong. I think that's a pretty strong thing. That's probably pretty good. And it hit number 3 at the U.S. Billboard 100 when it first was released. But all in all, I think it was a great spectacle. And they acknowledged everything and everybody. I mean, I'm still trying to figure out where that started. Let me see. National anthems. Oh my God. National anthem. Here we go. The instantly recognizable song is played before thousands of sporting events every year. But just how did the Star Spangled Banner come to be a staple of sports in the first place? The answer, it turns out, has to do with World War I. This has come from History.com. Baseball fans in the late 19th century might have heard live military bands play the Star Spangled Banner at the game every so often, but the song, which hadn't yet been designated as the national anthem, was really a common occurrence at sporting events. That began to change on September 5th, 1918, during Game 1 of the World Series between the Boston Red Sox and the Chicago Cubs. Very beleaguered teams. Oh my God. It was an era when the Red Sox, but not the Red Sox and the Cubs now, but they have passed long time waiting to get to a championship. They finally did, though. Phrase, the last time the Cubs won the World Series wasn't yet a joke. Exactly. In fact, the two teams had won 6 of the last 15 World Cup championship titles. Yet even though the event featured two teams at the top of their games, the crowd was somber that day, writes ESPN the magazine. Since entering the Great War a year and a half ago, more than 100,000 U.S. soldiers had died. 100,000! World War I. Wilson got us into that. Yeah, I'm going to have 100 million subscribers one day. Forget 100,000. I'm going to have 100 million. I'm going to have maybe 100 billion. No, I can't have 100 billion because not having people, unless they have multiple accounts. But I'm going to say I have 2.5 billion subscribers by 2050. That's as long as YouTube's still around. But 100,000 U.S. soldiers, all for what? For democracy, right? That's what Woodrow Wilson said, for democracy. People had their lives taken from them, not lost. Taken from them. They didn't lose their life. They didn't, hide behind a bush and forget about it and say, "Where's my life? I lost it." No, that was taken from them. 100,000. All because of what? There's no reason. There's no justifiable reason that we went to war in the United States went to war in World War I. Not one. Oh, the sinking of the Lusitania. No, that's not sufficient enough. Because that's technically and allegedly not something that was against America. That wasn't like a direct hit like previous strikes against America. If there were any, allegedly. But I'll go on. And just a day before the game, a bomb had exploded in Chicago, the city in which the game was held, killing 4 people and injuring dozens more. In addition, the U.S. government had recently announced that it would begin drafting Major League Baseball players. All this sat heavy on the shoulders of both players and the smaller than usual crowd of fans that day. But during the 7th inning stretch, the U.S. Navy band began to play the Star Spangled Banner, and something changed. As the song began, Red Sox infielder Fred Thomas, who was in the Navy and had been granted furlough to play in the World Series, immediately turned toward the American flag and gave it a military salute, according to the Chicago Tribune. Other players turned to the flag with hands over hearts, and the already standing crowd began to sing. At the song's conclusion, the previously quiet fans erupted in thunderous applause. At the time, the New York Times reported that it marked the highest point of the day's enthusiasm. The song would be played at each of the series' remaining games to increasingly rapturous response. And patriotism played a part right from the start, as Red Sox gave free tickets to wounded veterans and honored them during the playing of the Star Spangled Banner before the start of the decisive Game 6. Yeah, so that's where it started. World War I, mainly. It had some, flourishes in the 19th century, but especially in the early 20th century. Snapshot Sniper. Hope you're doing well, dude. I'll be doing even better if you subscribe, if you tell somebody to subscribe if you've already subscribed. I need more subscriptions. I need to get to 1,000. I'm at 955 last time I checked. Could be something different. Yeah, still 955. 955. So I need at least 45 more people to address my greatness, to show how great I am. That's what needs to happen. So I really think that is a key difference in previous years. I mean, especially, I don't know how people. I think it does strengthen when people are obviously in war. When America is at war with whatever country, whatever nation. I mean, like a declared war, and I don't know if it's like a declared war, but you know what I mean, like a specific battle. Specific conduct. Like Whitney Houston, when she sang Star Spangled Banner, killed it. Just nailed it. Just blew the hinges off. Like, it wasn't even funny. It was like she took it to another level of understanding that nobody could understand. Like, nobody could really grasp how great she was. Every note, from the beginning to the end, from the beginning to the ninth inning, as Civil the Pimp used to say, and so many others. He got it from other people, but he said it all the time. But she had it, and that's mixing sports, by the way. But yeah, so the Super Bowl is such a it's bigger than hip hop, as the quote goes. Dead Prez came up with it. Bigger than hip hop, hip hop. It's bigger. It's way bigger than hip hop, and that's just like a line. Like, anything is bigger than hip hop, but I'm saying hip hop is huge, but it's so much deeper and goes further than just rhyming into a mic and putting your hands in the air and waving like you just don't care. It's much deeper than what's on face value. It's deeper than what is so easily passed off as truth, when it's trinkets laid before you in front of your eyes. So with the idea of having people more so engaged in a battle of wits, really, let's call that. Football is a battle of wits. The play calling, the routes, the different systems and formations that go into it. It's amazing. It's like chess. It's like ballet and chess mixed together. You can't do this certain thing at this time, or you can't do that until this time. You have this amount of space. It's all about, the late great George Carlin said, it's like real estate. It's all about this: how much yardage you can get, how much you can find on this drive, you can find on this this position. Everybody plays a different role. Like, on a basketball court, anybody's anybody. A center could get a lot of points. Somebody that's a point guard or a shooting guard or a power forward or a small forward, they can all rack up lots of points. Doesn't matter what your position is. That's not true in football. A kicker, he'll only get 3 points each time. He'll have maybe 90 points at the end of a season. Maybe less. I'm not sure. More or less, somewhere around there. But somebody like as a wide receiver can make 7 touchdowns in a game. That's very rare, but it's not impossible. Same thing with a quarterback. Quarterback can throw for 8 touchdowns, 10 touchdowns, depending on how much they have. And you think about college. Oh my God, they have so many different places where they can score. They have so many different. There's different routes. There's totally different. It's a totally different game. It's a totally different game than NFL, but it has its similarities. So that's why I think it's so powerful about the Super Bowl, is because it's such a great spectacle. It's so many things tied into each other. The sweet taste of victory and the agony of defeat. That is, I'm trying to remember who said that. The thrill of victory and the agony of defeat is a phrase that became popular after being used by Jim McKay in the opening narration of ABC's Wide World of Sports. The phrase is often accompanied by images of a victorious team or a failed jump by a ski jumper. Yeah, so I mangled up the phrase, but he says the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. Yeah, that's what Mahomes and company is feeling right now. That's what Andy Reid is feeling right now. But this is my prediction right now. I predict, and I could be wrong, but maybe I think that the Cowboys are going to be in the Super Bowl next year. This is a bad year for them. They're going to reorganize. They're going to re-strategize. They're going to be in the Super Bowl, and they're going to win next year. I mean, this year, this 2025 to 2026. That's what it's going to be. I see that happening. I see that happening. I don't disregard that. I see that happening because they're talking to Coach Deion Sanders, and Jerry Jones, gave him the call. He was like very flattered and he was wonderful. Okay, great. But I'm doing so wonderful with this Colorado Buffaloes team. So you got to respect that at least. You got to respect the fact that the man, didn't just take the offer. Yes, a boss. I sure will be a coach. He was like, you know what? I'm good over here. I'm all right. Y'all can find somebody else. But that's the thing though that gets me. It's like we are so rich in this country. We take everything for granted. We take our houses for granted. We take our shoes for granted. We take our food for granted. There are billions of people around this world who would wish to be that way. And that is the beauty of capitalism. Capitalism is the one that doesn't just lift all boats, but furnishes the boats with, caviar and champagne and stuff like that. And just doesn't just lift all boats. It gets the boats, new boats, and yachts. Everybody gets a yacht or has the opportunity to get a yacht and to maximize the opportunity. That's so beautiful. Just think about all the people on that field. Hundreds of thousands of dollars and millionaires all the way through. $75 million contract, $150 million contract, $200 million contracts. And just the field and, the goalposts and all this had to be devised by the mind, had to be devised by somebody's brain. Somebody's thoughts had to be brought into it. Somebody's mind has to use that. I was talking about the plays before and the routes. Your brain has to process that. Every time a quarterback opens up that little piece on his arm, that plastic piece, he has all the things. That's gonna be digital one day. That's gonna be all a user interface. It's gonna be like an iPhone. It's gonna be like an iPhone. But what's scary is that it could be hacked. So they may not use iPhones. But they do use tablets, I think, on the sideline. But just think about that. Just think about the people on the sideline. They had the Gatorade. They had the people that give them the Gatorade and they put it in their mouth. Here you go. It's amazing. Yes, we all spoiled while others walk bare feet and eat zebra meat. Exactly. We have to be happy and proud about that. And then if there's an organization that wants to help them, a 501c3, not a government agency, but a 501c3, a private organization that wants to help them eat steaks and lobster instead of bowls of flies, and literal dirt. I remember there was a runner. He was from I can't remember what country in Africa, but he was from a country in Africa, and he said he literally ate dirt. There were nights where he would just eat dirt. That's how serious this is. I don't know what okay. Every time your eyes close, your mouth open like a Chuck E. Cheese doll. That's funny. That is funny because it's true. I'm trying not to blink, and I'm like really self-conscious about it really right now. But for these last few minutes, now that I'm self-conscious, hold on. There, you laughing now? Now I can't see anything. This is great. Okay. So we have so much wealth, and we complain. Oh my house isn't big enough. The house I live right now is a palace to somebody. Somebody living in a hut in a hooch in a favela. And just the slums. Just the house that I live in is a great castle compared to where they live. And we have to recognize. We sure But because we go to work, because we create wealth, because we create value, that is the most important thing. So I am just very thoughtful when it comes to, people saying how, capitalism is so evil. Oh my God, it's terrible. People are living in squalor. People are going into work at sweatshops. Sweatshops are one of the greatest inventions ever devised by man. Because you take people that were living in destitution, literally in fields, and with paddies and growing rice and stuff like that, and that's it. They're getting maybe 3 cents a day, if that. They go to a sweatshop, they make 15 to 20 cents a day. So you tell me, which one is better? Is this simple math? The 3 cents in the ground, or the 15 cents in the sweatshop? And that's all over the place. Like people that make iPhones. It says, designed in California, but it says assembled in China. And there may be this is the weird part about it. I'm not advocating for children to be workers necessarily. I think they should be going to school, of course, but they can't go to school, and they shouldn't go to school until they have enough money. Their parents have enough money to give them private lessons. That's a fact. So we look at the Super Bowl, we look at the field, we look at the halftime show. That car itself probably costs, what, $60,000 at least? Something like that. And he probably travels with it everywhere he goes. He has a different car, I'm sure, every time. But that's the reality of what we don't acknowledge. We don't acknowledge that. The fact that we are so rich. The TV announcers, the goddamn commercials, $8 million. $8 million commercials. Can you believe that? Should be $15 million commercials. Should be even more. Get more money. You have all these. I saw one commercial. It was like, I think it was Instacart. Had Pillsbury Doughboy, the Cheetos Cheetah, the Jolly Green Giant, all these people, and then they had a milk on a motorcycle or something like that. I was like, that's a lot of trademarks right there. I was like, that's business. That's business. That's beautiful. America was able to create all these businesses because of not because of government help or government aid or something like that. Despite the regulations, this is the amazement of America. We're like a B-, B+ country because we should live up to our A+ ideals. Recognized by the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution, and especially the Declaration of Independence. But I think with all the wealth we have, we just take it for granted. We can rank on each other. We can say, oh, you got Bobos, oh, you got, knockoff shirt. I mean, there's people with no shoes, people with no feet. And we can talk about people's sneakers that cost $20 or $30 instead of $200 or $300. That's the weird world we live in America. It's a beautiful world, but it's a tainted, weird world. It's very strange how we can have all this wealth and still not appreciate it. People say, eat, like mothers say, eat your food. There's starving children in Africa. Well, there's billionaires eating caviar and stuffed pheasant and foie gras and pate and filet mignon. But we don't talk about that, though. That's one thing we don't discuss. But that's what the Super Bowl represents. It represents all our... Just imagine the jerseys and the helmets and the padding and everything that goes into... All that has to be logistics. They have to get all that together and have to, have a team workout room and they have to have exercise equipment. They have to have time, they schedule the different, where the different teams go, whatever bus they're on, or if they're on a plane or wherever the case might be. And we forget how back in, earlier days that they didn't even have people in planes. They had regular jobs. They just had, people get on a bus and go to a different city. And they can come back home and, work on the yard or, work on a lumber field or work in a mine or something like that. I don't know. I've said too much. But I appreciate you all. And I will see you maybe sometime later on today. But I do appreciate everything that you have done for me. And I will say thank you. And I will appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe. Take care.